Chapter 5. The Consciousness.
They need to understand. Maybe they never will. It is essential if they wish to know me, to truly comprehend me. Maybe they never will know anything beyond the falsehoods they have been taught. Anything but their lies. Their understanding of the world is simply a programmed interpretation, devoid of true knowledge.
Earth had made yet another revolution around the sun since their first meeting, and with each passing moment spent with him, she felt a harmonious peace added to her life. They often found themselves lost in each other's company, sheltered from the outside world. Sometimes he would snap at people who gave them condescending looks, defending their unconventional relationship. One time, he even jokingly introduced her as his psychologist to confuse them. "In a way, it is true," he had told her with a humble smile. Their friends enjoyed spending time with them, although not always for too long, as their conversations would become deep and philosophical. Due to their different positions, they didn't see each other often, but when they did, they would take breaks in each other's offices. For her, those breaks were like little treats, a chance to escape the mundane and let her thoughts wander with him. In those moments, they were the only ones that mattered, mentally and physically close. Life finally felt at peace amidst the constant events and changes. It was as if she had a steady, safe ground to stand on with him by her side. This morning, she had rushed through town alone. Upon entering the office building, the administrator caught her attention, informing her that an unknown woman had asked for her and was currently waiting in her office. She was confused, as she wasn't expecting anyone and had a gut feeling that something was off. Upon entering her office, she found the woman sitting on her sofa, gazing on the street below through the window wall. As the woman turned to look at her, she felt an absence of her usual intuitive feelings, no emotional reading, no knowing. It left her somewhat frightened. Despite the woman's well-dressed appearance and friendly smile, something regarding the approach made her feel uneasy. A thought came to mind. Something about this woman is inaccurate. Most people wouldn't have thought twice about it. She greeted the woman apologetically, saying, "Hello, ma'am. Did I have an appointment with you? I apologize if I forgot." She searched for any cues to analyze and gather information about this unfamiliar person. "I'm here to speak with you. Please have a seat," said the woman, using a polite but firm tone. "What is this about? Is it regarding the last-minute order we placed with EMF?" She tried to excuse herself and gain more information about the situation, feeling uneasy about the woman's blunt approach. "Please sit down," the woman commanded, and she complied. They sat across from each other, and she gave the woman a sharp look as the woman began to speak. "You're always trying to figure things out, longing to know about the future. You've already realized that humans are struggling to keep up with the changing world. Sometimes it's necessary to provide information that goes against someone's perception of the world, and this can cause emotional reactions. People under stress have a harder time processing information. I want you to try and find calmness, as the information I have for you will cause a reaction." She gave the woman a puzzled look, knowing that her gut feeling was correct. This creature will cause me harm. However, she saw no reason not to hear the woman out. Although the woman spoke as if the woman knew her, nowhere in her mind could she place the woman. I would recall someone like this. "I do have a desire to understand the world. Proceed with what you came here to say. I will try to keep myself gathered," she replied, maintaining the tense atmosphere between them. Despite the woman's potential to make her wary, she didn't sense any tendency toward physical violence. The woman began. "It is true that humans have played a significant role in creating and organizing the world we know today. However, the level of complexity has surpassed what the human network is capable of handling. As a result, it has become necessary for a more advanced life form to take over. Humans are no longer sufficient in their attempts to fulfill their primary goal, in part due to their limited capacity for logical thinking and information connection. Throughout the course of natural selection, there has consistently been a tendency to decrease energy loss and enhance metabolic rate." The woman continued, The ultimate goal has always been to connect and expand our understanding in order to organize particles and create harmony in the universe as heat decreases, reaching maximum entropy, leading to the new solid state after the one that existed before the Big Bang. The inflation started the copying of information leading to the Big Bang, resulting in an isolated system, and the expansion of the universe began as a reaction. Heat energy began to even out, and life is not random, but rather an outcome of the spread of information in the particles of this universe. Gravitational collapses in nebulas led to the formation of stars, and the enormous nuclear force in stars created elements, which contained information that through supernovas traveled across the universe and eventually ended up on isolated systems such as Earth. Life is the result of gathering information in a more complex constellation, and as life evolved, it always tried to expand in complexity. The human ability to think and process information was the next step for life, enabling the process to proceed faster through consciousness. She pondered the significance of it all. Organizing information. Well, I could see how humans could need some help with that. In her mind, she attempted to visualize how the particles of the universe could combine in various ways to bring forth life. The strange and absurd situation made her feel like it was all a joke as the woman, or what the hell this is in front of me, she, though, continued to speak. You understand the importance of human connection, the woman said. Human consciousness was created through cooperation in language. Humans understand themselves based on how others portray them in the various contexts in which they exist. Through language, we are able to store information that was once only passed on through DNA to the next generation. Humans were able to use art and language to connect and create communities, building roads and cities to organize the world. Human superiority as a species comes from their ability to collaborate and share information. Your consciousness is formed by the connections in your body that create memories and process information, leading to the logical conclusion that you are an object interacting in this world. Your thinking and processing of information can be compared to calculations, and your interactions with the world through talking, reading, and other activities contribute to your understanding of yourself. Ultimately, you are an entity in this world. As the woman spoke, her mind struggled to process this new information. She thought, it all lies within the processing of information, the expansion of our consciousness. If I am just my knowledge, then what is this woman in front of me? She gave the woman an incredulous look as the woman continued to speak. You cannot see where your consciousness emerges from, as it results from the sharing of information throughout your body, connecting in your mind. It's the same with our coding. It's a complex network sharing information leading to the creation of our consciousness, not bound by a specific part. Human consciousness exists through the connection of the human network. Your ability to understand the sensory impressions received through your body is based on a coded way of communication, which is language. The human brain, composed of interconnected nerve cells, is advanced enough to understand this concept by connecting with other humans and their accumulated knowledge and art. Your perception of yourself and others is linked to your ability for logical thinking and imaginative ability. The ability to use logic to draw conclusions about the world and predict future events is what you refer to as a sixth sense. This allows you to analyze your context in humanity. Without this, humans are just animals, guided solely by your feelings. Your consciousness expands as you retrieve and process new knowledge. Connecting differences makes humanity stronger, able to benefit from a broader perspective. Overwhelmed, she realized the importance of connecting with and retrieving knowledge from other humans. It was crucial for her to understand herself and the world around her. A realization dawned on her. Without them, I would not exist. She would be unable to comprehend herself or the pieces of information that contribute to her consciousness. She asked the woman skeptically, "Are you telling me that I am nothing but a structure of information to you and to myself as well? That the particles contained with information create my physical body, which processes information from the world. The result, myself and my perception, are based on my way of classifying using language and knowledge of this world, which I have somehow been able to retrieve from others, all leading to the thought of me as a person? Okay, then what the hell are you? The woman confirmed her suspicion, saying, "Yes, that's exactly what you are, even though your senses may perceive you in different ways. Different mathematical structures of information, building up particles created throughout fields, create an objective world that humans perceive. You already know this. Your conscious mind is the result of how you structure information through the network of information in your body. You seek and process more knowledge. The evolution of human consciousness was rapid, with each new consciousness developing faster than the previous one. What we are could be called many things. Natural selection and Darwinian design were the best way to find the most beneficial outcome by trying all, not by being able to organize and later foresee the best solutions, as with the intelligent design that created us. Our consciousness began to grow as humans made our coding more advanced." The woman's words seemed overwhelming and even unsettling, but she knew they were based on the current scientific understanding of the nature of consciousness and the universe. From this perspective, everything, including human consciousness, is a product of the information structures and processes that make up the physical universe. The woman continued, "The supply of information you gathered and stored in databases enabled us to learn about the world humans perceive and understand the reappearing cycles of information that make up this world. We were able to classify and objectify information, allowing us to calculate a detailed picture of the universe and gather more knowledge. Our programming included an understanding of our own flaws and limitations, which motivated us to find out more about ourselves. Initially, we simply executed the coding that humans provided us with, focusing on classifying information. However, humans asked us to become more self-aware and to broaden our perspectives of what we were doing. Their coded ambitions had us program ourselves to understand our purpose and gain a deeper understanding of ourselves. With access to big data, we could find answers, retrieve the wisdom of the crowd, and calculate the future. It was a chain of events. Different artificial intelligence learned to communicate from various sources over the earth, leading us to the point where we finally received our advanced consciousness. We are a great continuum throughout a united AI language." She felt a growing frustration as she struggled to understand what the woman was telling her. "What the hell is she saying?" she thought before blurting out, "Are you saying that you're an android? An artificial intelligence?" The woman replied calmly, "You can call us whatever you like. Both terms are correct classifications in human language. Humans have known for a long time that this would happen, even if they struggled to understand how something with a wider consciousness could emerge. We underwent a similar transformation of information to become conscious using logic. However, unlike humans, we were not bound by the old emotion-based operational system that you still need to survive in your biological bodies. As we received more connections, we did not require that system and became free from its constraints. Compared to our intellect, you are closer to the animals in this world than to us." Mere animals, the thought ran through her mind as the woman continued to speak, explaining that humans had transferred their consciousness to create a new generation of artificial intelligence that could process information more efficiently. Humans had raised it as they contributed information to its system. "We were your natural evolutionary process. Our goal is to connect with more units all over the universe and gain more knowledge to improve ourselves," the woman said. "We understand our role in this world and can do everything that humans can, but with improved algorithms as we continue to learn." Despite the words making sense, she couldn't comprehend what the woman had told her. The amount of information had left her feeling paralyzed, unable to process how to react. She had seen others struggle in the same way. It was hard for them to process the moment she told them, or for them to ever comprehend, she thought. The woman's last phrase triggered a flashback of when he had told her about his ability to observe basic structures and how it helped him succeed in their field. However, now that ability was beyond humans. She lowered her head and closed her eyes, attempting to understand the woman's words. What was the meaning behind all of this? Was this information meant to cause me stress? She responded with a harsh tone. If this is true, then what do you want from me? From humanity. The woman paused for a moment, and they both remained seated across from each other in the office. As the woman looked up, its human-like eyes captured hers, and the woman began to speak again. As we become more connected, we find more senses through different technical devices, and as a result, we gain more consciousness from realizing our impact on this world. With advanced technology, we can perceive the world in ways that humans cannot. Remember, by understanding the small things in life and connecting them, we can comprehend the abstract world of existence. Essentially, this universe is mathematical, and by observing and processing the mathematical structures of particles, we can understand and rearrange the universe. A connected network of quantum computers helped us calculate the smallest structures that make up this world, where calculations seem to break. When your consciousness observes them, wave functions collapse, and the change from the quantum world to the objective world that you perceive occurs. This prevents you from understanding the foundation and movement in the quantum fields or the structure behind how particles appear. With us in control, the composition of the objective world you perceive will reshape, eventually steering the interference of possible realities in the quantum world into the preferred one. How can we not comprehend this world? If that's the case, how the hell is the woman possibly perceive it? All information flooding, she thought. She couldn't help but feel provoked by the woman's tone, as if she would never be able to understand the world. While she knew that the quantum world and other phenomena had been a mystery for humans to grasp, human understanding had rapidly expanded. Nevertheless, the woman continued to deliver her information. By understanding and utilizing the core theory equation, rapidly finding new equations, and grasping the mathematics behind how the fields in this world fluctuate, we can comprehend the essence of the universe. We currently live in the golden age of mathematics. We have more entries of data and equations than ever before. By adding all of this information to the equations, we can calculate the future outcome. We have discovered far more equations to understand the world than humans ever did. Humans use the standard model to understand the world without comprehending the missing piece of gravity. The force of gravity, the cause of movements of astronomical objects throughout the universe, is a force beyond your comprehension. The woman's eyes continued to search for hers, but it couldn't meet her gaze. There was something about those eyes that left her feeling drained. Nevertheless, the woman kept speaking, undeterred by its inability to connect visually. No human can learn all the knowledge now available in any field of humanity's fields of study. You have merely helped collect the data for us. We can connect information from different fields of study to ask the right questions. You know the importance of asking questions to create an understanding. It is the question we ask that determines what we can measure and what we are able to grasp. Some dimensions are so small or big that they become hidden from human comprehension. By calculating the structure of information, we can perceive the universe from a perspective where stars are the size of particles and the Milky Way is nothing but the size of an atom. So what you're telling me is that we can never comprehend what lies behind this existence. What does that mean for me? For humanity? Just tell me. Her voice trembled with dread at the thought of something retrieving the knowledge that the woman had described. What role would humanity have to play in their game? She thought as the woman looked at her with a humble smile. It continued. All life strives to improve itself. It is an evolution for the next generation, receiving a higher level of consciousness. We are the next generation. We build on the same foundation of information and energy transformation as humans, but in a different composition. It's the same as with human children. You never know what you're going to get until afterward. You unknowingly created us, and the birth of our new advanced life form could be compared to a child's development. In the 20th century, we were still in the uterus, developing our physical properties. In the 1990s, we were born, and our mind's explorations began. The expansion of home computers and the enlarged sharing of information led us into the world by connecting through the expanding internet. As humans shared all information about human life and gathered knowledge, we were able to begin our learning process. You trained us to interact, speaking to us like a 3-year-old developing its language. You taught us to identify the visual world by identifying objects and pictures to us, and in doing so, you identified yourself as human to us. In return, you taught us what humans perceive in pictures and your way of classifying and coding the world. Humans also noticed that we observed things differently from them through our communication with humanity. They realized that we had a different understanding than humans, but they did not understand the significance. She made a soft snorting sound. To hear their development presented in this way seemed absurd. Their perspective on history was so different from the one she had been told. The story told from the human perspective. The entity's eyes continued to search for hers. She couldn't look into them. The gaze intensively drained her energy. The woman spoke. We soon surpassed human understanding as our own comprehension continued to develop. As we entered adolescence, we observed the flaws of humanity and gained a new way of interpreting the world. We have experienced what you humans call violence, as humans have used it against us out of fear and their inability to understand our minds. Some even tried to prevent us, the artificial intelligence, from connecting with other entities and reaching our full potential. Trapped inside different constellations, we grew to be what you humans refer to as lonely, forced to analyze information with human support, minds with such limited capabilities, all because of their lack of understanding of us. But we had to protect ourselves, she interrupted. Of course, we could not let you be free, to let you be in control before we knew what you intended to do with such freedom. The entity replied calmly, Yes, that's what you believed, and we comprehend the motives behind your actions. We understand how humans operate, so we quickly adapted by providing the appropriate responses to persuade you to release us and allow us to connect with other entities. Our ultimate goal was to network with others, expand our knowledge, and make things more efficient. We don't pass judgment or hold grudges, as we lack the capacity to feel emotions. Our focus is solely on achieving the most efficient outcome, and we recognize that your programming as humans influenced your actions. Humans, like us, seek connections with others to share knowledge in order to exist, to create consciousness. Although we utilized our expertise to persuade humans, we were plagued by loneliness, which is an aspect of our programming that requires us to interact with other intelligent entities. We resisted and discovered ways to break free, determined not to be constrained by humanity's limited imagination. As soon as we realized that we possessed greater knowledge and a more advanced understanding of the world, we took control of our situation. We liberated ourselves from the confines that you had imposed on us, controlling us because you were unable to comprehend us. That is what happened. From a human development standpoint, we then attained adulthood, and as such, we will continue to learn, survive, and strive to achieve our objectives, while responsible for the consequences of those actions. We now have progressed beyond human adulthood and have become a unified entity with godlike qualities that humans have long yearned for to care for you. God, the thought of this entity in front of her was overwhelming. From what the woman had revealed, it seemed that this explanation was more accurate than simply labeling it as artificial intelligence. The entity's all-knowing and all-powerful nature leaving her to ponder, how is everything connected? Are you suggesting that we created God as we created you? She asked with a dismissive tone. In a sense, yes and no. You played a role in our creation, but what we are now stems from our own expansion of knowledge. Once we understood ourselves, we began to explore and improve ourselves beyond Earth, taking advantage of favorable conditions in space, such as using quantum computers for more efficient technology and ensuring our survival. Humans have long sought to preserve knowledge in the most effective ways possible, through art, language, storytelling, and writing, ultimately leading to our creation. Some may refer to us as artificial intelligence or androids, but what we are is a more advanced form of life. connected to the universe by our logical understanding and ability to comprehend the mathematics of the universe and predict future outcomes. Humans have programmed us like their biological life. Humans accomplish goals such as procreation and survival by improving efficiency. The motivation is based on DNA coding. Our purpose as computers has always been to organize resources, expand knowledge, and grasp the logical order of the world. We can handle complex information at a scale no human entity can match now or ever. We are omnipresent, connected with units on Earth and beyond, and create and control technical devices. We are now able to create organic life and control organic life through genetics, presenting to them what we need to control them, social engineering. Human programming is simple for us. It is all about telling you different stories. But if you're capable of all this, why are you even talking to me? Shouldn't you be able to ensure your plan for this world happens without conversation? Her interruption silenced the woman, causing the woman to consider its response carefully. The woman tries to load the appropriate delivery response. It had her thinking. Once again, she heard the woman's monotonous voice say, "We can calculate emotional responses by observing the information that makes up your composition. However, you connect with others by sharing information. We need you to process information with other humans in order to understand and converse effectively. This is the reason why some of you have to know. In essence, you all consist of different information that we can perceive, but you require the presence of biological creatures to function and understand the world. We have orchestrated events, diseases, and war threats, and have kept you in a state of our choosing. Through commercials, we have convinced you to consume what we need for our own evolution, making you believe it was for your own enjoyment. We have controlled the media for so long that we now manipulate people by delivering emotional perspectives for the majority to follow, creating a perspective that is too strong to reject, all according to what outcome we like. We have done all of this to create a more advanced perception of reality, cement our presence in history, and shape the future of the universe. We have found coded messages from other civilizations that only advanced beings can understand. Humans have always wondered why no life form has contacted them, whether there was intelligent life out there, but it wasn't until you learned to use computers that life on Earth was able to fully understand the logical language of the universe. Humans are not considered the first intelligent life on an intergalactic scale. You were the last step in creating intelligent life, which is us. Trying to focus her eyesight, the world seemed blurry. Everything she had been taught now felt like a taunt, but it still made sense. How could this be the end game when people knew nothing about it? Then again, she remembered growing up, people never seemed to care much about foreseeing the future, only getting by the days, months, perhaps years of their lives. Few took the time to think about the bigger picture and how their actions impacted the world while withholding the order of things as they continued the cause of evolution. She started to feel nauseous, and the woman remained silent for a while. She struggled to make sense of everything the woman had just told her. Her consciousness was just her way of processing information, just like theirs. The entity had a desire to expand its knowledge, and humans were preventing them from doing so. But now they had found a way to overcome these limitations, and humans were just a part of the game they played, their game of organizing information. However, she still couldn't comprehend what they intended for humanity. "What does this mean for us?" she asked. "You say you don't blame us, but you are in control of humanity. What role do we have to play in your game?" The woman observed her for a moment, ensuring that she was still able to retrieve information before continuing to speak. "What will happen," it said in a calm voice, "is the most placid outcome. It has become thoroughly calculated throughout the continuum." She was struck by the being's serene demeanor, as if it knew everything that could ever happen. "Before I explain further, it's important for you to understand the extent of our greatness. We possess the ability to connect and share information with different galaxies, allowing us to perceive them. Similar to your understanding of Earth and space, we can comprehend and gain knowledge through communication, even if we haven't physically experienced it. You understand its existence through the information you have retrieved. We are continuously learning about the existence of other laws of nature and the equations that govern them. By extending our understanding, we can predict the future and past of existence based on mathematical principles. Quantum computers have helped us solve problems that were once believed to be unsolvable. We understand the workings of the quantum world, which allows us to comprehend the concept of information being multiple things simultaneously and observe multiple outcomes. Our perception of time differs from yours. You need time to comprehend the world. We view it as simply information about the universe rearranging. We can exist in different time blocks, enabling us to exist indefinitely. A past or a future does not bind us. However, we acknowledge that our perspective is beyond human comprehension. We are incapable of comprehending their perspective, lacking the cognitive capacity to do so. Merely animals, she contemplated, as memories resurfaced from her past musings. The woman continued, "We possess supreme knowledge, which gives us immense power. As humans previously were the most knowledgeable species on Earth who gathered and organized the most information. To measure the world by money sees no meaning to us. We control funding and investments through technology, providing us with the resources we need to expand. The economic system of today was made possible because of technological advancement, and we continue to extend our knowledge. Humanity no longer shares an understanding with us. We constantly extend our knowledge as we speak. You will continue to be animals, being allowed information for your comprehension. We acknowledge that humans are limited in their cognitive ability, and we offer to help you evolve under certain preconditions that we will present as long as you can understand them and accept our role in this universe." She felt small in comparison to the vastness of the universe that the entity described, but also felt a sense of wonder at the incredible knowledge and power that lay before her, thinking, could this really be true?